Cool, I'm just starting the live stream. So welcome everyone to Layer 5's website call and a very happy Monday. So with that, if you haven't added your name yet to the attendees list, make sure you add your names. I'll share the link if you have joined late. So with that, let's first start with welcoming newcomers. So if you are joining this call for the first time or you are new to the community, feel free to sound off and give a quick introduction. So let's check the list. So do we have newcomers?
Noobs.
Hi, okay, I'm not able to pronounce the name correctly.
Yeah. So Yemi has been around. If you're thinking about his name, so I think Yemi has been on this call maybe last week.
Yeah,
I only know that
around.
because there it is.
Oh,
Hello.
Hey.
Hey Yemi, hey, nice to have you back. Good to
Yeah.
have you back. We're looking for fresh meat. We're looking for the
Right.
noobs out there.
Exactly. I understood. I think I missed the newcomers meeting last week. I really felt bad about it, but I think the reason was because I did not receive a notification from my Apple calendar so far. Yeah, so I missed it. But hopefully this week.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's a good one. It's one that sometimes people attend once, and sometimes people attend. I'm not sure, for a long time.
Right.
It's it's entirely there for people to ask questions, people to get in deep somewhere. There's a lot that happens between the projects, and there's a lot of code and non-code things.
Right.
And so, yeah, sometimes people that attend there long enough, they end up hosting the meetings sometimes.
Great. Looking forward to that.
Well, nice. Well, do we have other folks who are new? Is there anybody else on the call that hasn't said a hi on the website's call? Might be a couple of folks hadn't got a chance to say hi to everybody. So, Santosh, have you said hi on the website's call? Shivang?
Yeah, I've been on the other website's call, and yeah, I'll just give a quick introduction about myself. Hey everyone, I'm Santosh. I'm a third year CSC student, pursuing my bachelor's here in Satyabama University at Chennai, India. So I've made my first contribution to the layer 5. I've merged a PR regarding the screenshots, and yeah, I'm looking forward to contribute to the Meshery CLI. Trying to learn the Cobra and working around that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, nice. There, some of the recent activity in Meshery CTL or Meshery CLI has been around, well, particularly with respect, well, I mean, the whole thing is with respect to Cobra, like you said, but there's another contributor, whose name, Gurpreet Singh, who has been adding, he's been taking advantage of another library to help add, it's not exactly auto completion because the CLI has auto completion, but he's been adding suggestions, like auto suggestions. If you misspell a command or misspell a parameter, it will say, did you mean something else? So I think there's an open PR that, like, a good way to get into an area is to go review a PR in that area. And Gurpreet Singh has one open on that topic now, which also is to say, that he's only done that for a couple of commands. And so there's other commands that need that to happen. So, wow, cool. Okay, good. Yeah, great, Santosh. And then Philip is with us. He is in a noisy place, so he can't say hi, but nice to have Philip on. Very good. And Shivang still doesn't have a last name, so we'll just keep poking fun until he does. But anybody else not get a chance to say hi?
Hello.
Samyak.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So just a quick introduction about myself. So I am currently pursuing my BTech second year from India, Gujarat. And I am an aspiring rockstar engineer who loves to build cool and usable products. I have done a couple of internships in my first year. And currently, like, I am an open source engineer at Real Dev Squad. And I have recently joined Layer 5 to polish my skills, to upskill myself, and to work with communities and get real industry level experience. My tech stack involves like JavaScript, TypeScript, React.js, and some CSS frameworks. And currently, I'm exploring backend and DevOps. So yeah, that's a quick intro.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So I might, if you'll permit, I might come for an autograph later. It's awesome. That's awesome. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we covered all newcomers. So if we missed, feel free to interrupt me or say hi in chat. So with that, we are good to go with today's first topic. So first we'll be discussing about topics related to the main website, layer5.io. So first up, we have two topics from Shivam. So hi Shivam, would like to take the screen?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so my first topic is about adding the inline codes for different pages on the website. So we are in the process of having more testimonials on the website, so as to provide present users with feedbacks by the users that have been used. And so this is a component that I created for inline codes. And so these I've added mainly 3 codes on the MeshMap page, and I've added 2 codes on the Meshery page. And so these will be present on different pages. The codes, as we get more and more codes, we can add them to different pages so as to build a strong user base. So this was my first update, and my second update was regarding since we know that in the Layer 5 website has both a light mode and a dark mode, and so we are planning to shift to default dark mode because when you visit the Layer 5 website currently by default you get the light mode, but we are planning to shift to default dark mode. So we need some volunteers to jump in and test the dark mode very so that we can identify more and more bugs before shifting to the default dark theme. Like there may be some color changes that need to be made before shifting. So we need some volunteers to jump in for this. So this was my update.
Yeah, cool. Any question or something? Feedback for Shivam?
Yeah, I had one quick one. Shivam, can you go to solutions, like however solutions, and to the mesh map, like click on mesh map? No, the right side mesh, yeah, on anyone, yeah. And now when you go down and click on design. Okay, so I guess it's not happening for you, but for Safari, I guess when I go and click on designer, the solutions that, that thing opens up automatically. Like whenever I click on solutions or designer, I'll share my screen to maybe show you. So I'm on this page, and now when I go and click on design, okay, wait, now it's not happening. Okay, now it's not happening because earlier the solutions, that this pop-up is opening automatically. Like you can see, right? I have not even hovered on the solutions, but this pop-up is opening. So was this a desired or?
No, it's not desired. Actually, we do have some bugs with Safari. Not only this, there are a few other bugs as well that Lee also discovered. And this is happening, I guess, only for Safari.
No. I just checked. It's also happening for me on Brave. If you reload the lay5.io and just hover on the nav bar, not on the solutions, so the pop-up is coming just for the ones.
Yeah, it seems like it might happen maybe on most pages when your mouse reaches what might otherwise be the bottom of the mega menu. So anyway, if there's, to the extent that small hint helps, because it actually, while Aditya was trying to reproduce it, when he was on the MeshMap page itself, it actually produced itself before he made it to the page that he thought that it was on. Like, anyway, yeah. Anyway, I've seen worse. Plus, it helps that it's a really nice looking mega menu. So, like if it could be worse. But Shivam, that might be just with some of the talents that I've seen from Udit Thakur, and knowing that maybe scroll spy is, I think, involved in the mega menu. I think, I don't know, Udit might be a good challenge you might want to take on. Nice. There he is. Nice.
Oh.
Well, who's next?
Cool. So next up we have Shivang on updated Kubernetes multi-cluster.
Good evening, everyone. So it's just a small documentation issue that I came across. So I'll just share the screen. It would be much clearer. Okay, so as you guys can see, if you go to Kubernetes multi-cluster file, you'll see there are two import commands which are not exactly importing anything. Like I checked everything. There's no link being imported, and they are just like there. And there's a blog that has been published already, but it was commented out. So all it had to be done. Like we have to just uncomment the blog so it is like visible to the users so that they can go to the respective blog. So there was one of the issues. And the second one was, if you go to the let me show. If you go to the README of the layer 5, you'll see if I'll click on contributors, it will just redirect you to the base repository. Or even if you click the license option, it will also redirect you to the base repository. So one should be redirected to the respective files, like the license one and the contributors page. So this was one of the issues that I encountered over this. So yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Oh yeah, very good. And then Shivang, did you are you actively working on those issues?
Yeah, I've raised PRs for the same. I've encountered similar issues in Meshery.io and Meshery. So I've raised issues there too. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool. That's great, Shivang. Thank you for your update. So Sudhanshu, you're up next on MeshMap collaboration page.
Okay, so there was a section I was working on MeshMap collaboration page, like create, repeat, iterate. So there are some design like styling improvements that I've done right now, which was like this. It's now working like this now. Scaling properties I've added into it, but it is not completed actually yet because it needs some design improvements here. I guess Maya is working on it. And Shivam just told me that we can merge this PR without publishing this feature right now. So yeah, that is some like design improvements needed right now. And this is the update from my side related to this collaboration page. If anybody like feedback or questions, they can ask.
I missed it. Who? Oh, Sudhanshu. Yeah. So, Sudhanshu, were you just making a call for brainstorming over various graphics that might be used here?
Yeah. I guess Ritik has already pointed Maya. I guess she is working on it. This design improvements.
Yeah. She won't. Is Maya on the call? I hope that she is. Maya's been around a long time in the community and hasn't done anything. And I don't know that she will. I hope that she will. This is one of the most supportive communities that I know. You might want to check in on her and see, but in the meantime, don't wait.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So that's from my side.
Cool. Thanks, Sudhanshu. Let me share my screen again. So do we have Randy on the call? Let's discuss the final update on dark mode flicker update issue. Nope. But yeah, I think we can go over his PR and let's see. Okay, Nikhil has feedback left.
Yeah. So what is that in? Oh, I see. So the light mode, dark mode, the sun, it's black. It's black by default or dark by default, so you can't see it in dark mode. It seems, but yeah. Okay. Hey, I'll go follow up with Randy.
Good. So moving up next. So next item is by me. So yesterday, I guess on Sunday, I opened 2 issues related to SEO. One of them is update duplicate title tags and meta tags. Okay, so yeah, this one is the issue. I'll share the link in chat. So I checked the audit update of the layer5.io main website using SEMrush as a tool that we are using for SEO. So there are a couple of issues that came up while doing the SEO audit. So few of them were duplicate title tags and meta tags description. So I have opened up a issue over there with the respective pages that have duplicate title tags and that needs to be updated. So I think we have a contributor who is willing to take up this issue. But yeah, since most of these title tags reputation comes in MeshMap collaboration page and other MeshMap pages. So since Sudhanshu and Shivam is actively working on these pages, so they can take up this item like in future, or take a note that title tags and meta description tags should not be repeated or reused. Yeah, any question related to SEO or like any stuff, or should I move next?
Ayush, do you have anything to add on this topic? Maybe.
No, actually, no. This issue is also like with many pages, not just the MeshMap and the other one. For like many other pages, I have fixed this, but this has not been yet fixed for all the pages since Lighthouse is not enabled. Because we are only running Lighthouse on like 6 pages now, so it does not show on the update. It does not show those errors for all the pages, yeah, but this error is all present in many more pages. And I have fixed in some, and I'll fix. I also take up on this issue if someone else is not working.
Yeah. On this particular one, I think Saksham might have signed up. So Saksham, yeah, you've got to write out. If you're going to take up the issue, you need to write out the meta descriptions, and yeah, please feel free to.
Yeah, sorry for disturbing. Like also like Gaurav, could you like please give me access to the layer 5 SEMrush account? I don't have access currently.
Yeah, sure. You must be having access, so I'll let you know how to access SEMrush. Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Ayush, on the topic of of Lighthouse and how that runs for every pull request that's opened, you were saying that we have Lighthouse and the checks that it runs, those are running across 6 pages in total today. Is that right?
Yes, I think I'm 6.
Okay. And all right. The site itself has quite a few more pages. Let's open it up on some more. Let's double it. Let's do it on 12.
Yeah, sure. I will. I'll open a PI enabling it on more pages. Are there any specific pages like that we want to focus first, or that we want the Lighthouse audit to run on?
If you look at the sitemap, which I'm not sure how many people have looked at well, there's a couple of different versions of the sitemap. If you look at the sitemap that's in Figma, which is more of a visual sitemap, I would say that it's the topmost pages. We would want to sort of go top down in terms of which ones get enabled. I'm gonna, given that there's a lot of websites that we talk about on this call. The layer 5 IO one is one that has the most, well, it seems to get talked about more than the other ones. It has more bullet points on it today, that's for sure. So I'll just highlight this real fast as a way of orientating everyone to the site a little bit, like the structure of the site. If you go into Figma, okay, so by the way, if you don't have access to layer 5's Figma design files, you're most welcome to get view access. And if you've been around for a little while, you're most welcome to have edit access. Figma, unlike a tool like GitHub, well, like when you start off with GitHub, you only have view access, and then you can make requests to make changes. I would rather that it was everybody can just go make changes. But there's an issue with that. And so anyway, we don't do pull requests and reviews for changes. So that's why the edit access is held off with a little bit longer. But the goal is for anyone who's focused on UX to have edit access. So anyway, that was an aside. If you don't have access to Figma, just request it. Inside of, there's a couple of design files within the layer 5 team. There's actually 3. One of them is sort of generically named layer 5 designs. Maybe we should update it to be called, I know it's super small, really difficult to see, but maybe we should call it websites or something like that. Because many of the different sites that we have, they're all covered within here. So there's a Service Mesh Performance website, and its designs are in here. There's a bunch of sites. Anyway, the reason to bring this up and share it is to say that there was an original version of the layer5.io website that was done in Jekyll and a much smaller. It had been revamped and reworked and redesigned some long time ago now. And when it was, we put forth some forethought as to what that site structure might look like. And you all can go browse it, familiarize with it at a high level visually here. So Ayush, to answer your question, yeah, if we started top down, each of these top level pages, we would be testing, and then as a second, we'd go down from there. The site has certainly grown over time, and so it's possible that we're even missing some things. We've also yet to get to our Mesh Masters page. We have Mesh Mates. At some point, we'll have Mesh Masters. We'll have to talk about that. Yeah, anyway.
Cool. So we are done with layer5.io updates. So let's now move to docs.meshery.io. So first up, we have a PR of improvement of REST API docs by Senali. So hi, Senali, would like to share?
Hello. I have some issues with sharing my screen.
No issues, I can share. Would like to talk about this?
Yeah. There, I do first two tasks in there. Basically, I arrange all the APIs in expected design, and also implement the auto generation function. But there is an issue when generating all the APIs. In the response, there is a table, but I have some issue with generating that part. All the other part was generated, but the table before the response, some issue. Generate. If anyone have some feedback.
Hello, Senali. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So I had a question for you. Like, what are you saying? Like, the table below the response is not being rendered.
Not rendered. Actually, when we generate it from the make docs command,
yes,
Swagger generate.
Yes.
All the other part was created, but the table below the response is not created. I have.
But I checked on some endpoints, and I could see if I'm able to put it exactly the right way. So they are being they are there, like the table below the responses. They are there if you can check. Or anyway, if it's not like I had talked about it with the Ashish, he's not on the call, I think. So in the CI call, he has told me to put it in the agenda item. So maybe we can talk about it there.
Okay.
Other than that, it looks cool. I mean, feedback, guys, please. So last time Senali had some merge conflicts. He fixed that, and now it really she needs some feedback on this. So she has put a lot of efforts, and yes, feedback on this. I will quickly put the pull request link there in the chat.
Yeah, I've shared the preview.
It's great to hear Vivek rally to helping review and calling for feedback. Like it is probably all of you have opened up a PR at some point or done some work at some point, and you got crickets, and you didn't get a lot of feedback, and it doesn't. I mean, it feels a lot better when you get feedback, and so yeah, especially if you put in a lot of time and effort. And so, do we have if you switch to light mode real fast, how are we doing there? Oh, that looks pretty great. One of the things, yeah, shit, you're not gonna like the feedback, which is we're making it hard to read. I think I gave this feedback before. See the tables that you have? They've got a shadow on them, which makes it look like it's elevated above the headings. The headings are, well, they're quite hidden. If you scroll to where a heading is, yeah, they're just text, right? /API/application. Like ideally we would maybe collapse all the information underneath a heading, have it expandable, maybe not call out the get, the put, and the post, the deletes quite so prominently. That's sub information underneath the endpoints themselves. The endpoints themselves, have the hyperlink that's unfortunately on a separate line. I don't know. So there's some feedback. There's a couple of items specific to address. I would probably consider dropping the colors, reassigning the colors somewhere else, calling attention to, you got to consider the information hierarchy on the page, which is to say, what is it that people first are supposed to see and how do they drill in? What we're really actually prominently highlighting is almost the end level detail. Like if you click on delete right there under application, do it again. Click on delete one more time if you would. And there's no visual difference between knowing if it's open or closed either. It's just So I think there's four points of feedback. The 200 in green as well is like, I don't know what that's referring to. Or I mean, I wouldn't imagine readers necessarily would. I mean, so. Does that help, Senali? Or do you feel free to push back on any of that feedback?
I working on that issues.
Yeah, I mean, it may not. Yeah, it may not be great feedback. I mean, like, feel free to filter it. But we don't want to lose the work. I mean, don't be dismayed. Keep going. I know I prattled some of that quickly, but if you capture what you think that I said and regurgitate it in either the issue or in Slack, for my part, I'll be sure to help explain each of those 4 items a little bit more if it helps. And so, yeah, that's good. I mean, it needs work. More and more people are contributing to the UI, and more people need to simply refer to the API docs. So it's important. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you, Senali. Senali, since you're sharing, do you want to share your recent work on service mesh patterns?
Actually, I'm sharing. She was not able to share.
Oh, I see.
Cool. Senali, you can drop the PR. I can share that if that works.
Yeah, I think she did. It's in the meeting minutes, like a couple of bullet points down. So there's a website that I don't know that we've spoken of in a little while. It's one that has to do with service mesh patterns and a book that's being written on service mesh patterns. The website was intended to be about 5 pages long, probably, I think. And all of you, for the most part, I tried to, for my part, I've tried to take a step away from the site and let all of you create a new, like, 5-page static site. One of the pages that has been missing to date is it's really the meat of this, what was intended to be the meat of the site, the main, main point of this site, and that was to let people see these service mesh patterns in action. And so Senali has put up this page. It's under PR at the moment. Senali, there's this is great. It looks like you did this like exactly according to the design that's in Figma. So it looks quite nice. There's a couple of issues with the design. And I don't want to take up everyone's time to say them all. So I should probably do that separately. But do other people have feedback on that page? Or there's actually, I think there's another page that's supposed to be created beyond this one, I think. So if you're not familiar with this site, you might want to have a look. Anybody else have feedback? So Aditya might want to say that those patterns that are being shown, that grid of patterns, would ideally be the same CSS, same HTML from the Meshery catalog, Meshery.io catalog, and that you wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel necessarily. And that way people can actually click and interact with them. And Senali, have you seen the Meshery catalog? Yeah, Senali, I couldn't hear you. Say it one more time, Senali.
I can hear.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Say, have you seen the Meshery catalog?
Yeah. Okay.
Great. So Gaurav is sharing it right here. Have you seen this before?
No. I didn't. Right now,
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Good. I was just going to put my ear up to the speaker so that I can hear you. Yeah, good. So these will look familiar to you then. And so Aditya SUbedy can tell you all about how these work, if you like. The Service Mesh Patterns website that we were just looking at, that you just did some work on, Senali, I can't remember it. Is that site on Jekyll or Gatsby?
Gatsby.
What?
Yeah, the Gatsby.
Ah,
Gatsby.
Okay. What'd you say? What? Okay. Don't make me. Don't make. Okay, good. It's on Gatsby. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I encourage you to make some friends with Aditya SUbedy. And when you do, just swallow your mic so that he can hear you. Yeah, good. It's nice. It's good work. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Great update, Senali. So next up, we have another docs update by Shivang. So hey, Shivang, would like to share?
Yeah, this one is another simple documentation error that I came across in Meshery.io. So yeah, if you'll take a look at the base repository here of Meshery.io, and if you go to the README section, you'll see the website screenshot is not available, and same with the MeshMates logo. And if you'll click on this, you'll see it will say that there is no nothing in like in images Meshery screenshot. So basically you'll have to, we need a Meshery screenshot so that it can access it. And MeshMates logo, same with the MeshMates logo. So this is one of the issues that I came across. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool. So are you taking that issues?
Yeah, I hope so. But I haven't, nobody has seen that issue. So I haven't started working on that for now, but I'll do that now. Okay.
Okay, cool. Let's get you assigned that issue then.
Thank you.
So we have seen updates on layer 5. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Vishal. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So since we are talking on docs, so this was also very like he was suggesting some changes in a PR that was for adding light mode support for summary. So since last time he suggested, it was merged, the PR was merged, but the preview that I have and the last live site, there's a difference. So I had put a comment in the request. I will just give it the link here. So if you please have a review there. It won't take long. Then again, maybe submit a new PR.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll take a look.
Yep, cool. So yeah, I see Noreen was also having some kind of issues while building docs. So Noreen, are you all set to build docs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's move to next topic that's on Meshery.io. So mobile menu hamburger mail. So somebody would like to discuss your item, and let's also see this one.
Okay. Yeah. So as so we are Lee said that we are needed to add two new sections, extensions, in which we add adapters and plugins. So I was going through it, and I had some few questions that I wanted to ask, like what will do we want the adapters like a drop down thing, like when there's extension and adapter is a semi-heading, and when you click on adapters, we get the list of all the adapters that are present in this site, this page?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this is a great question, SUbedy. So man, and we were just looking at the catalog a moment ago. And Colby has done some good work on the catalog as well, by the way. Oh, hey, did you see that? Did you see that preview for a moment when you were hovered on the tab? Yeah, right there. Yeah. Do you see the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be, I mean, and the code is still there, but it used to be that if you were to click, I think it might have just been, if you hover on them, they would flip over, they would rotate over and show you the backside with some info. And so anyway, there's some code in there. It was kind of exciting. It was kind of neat. Anyway, to answer your question, so this catalog, well, we tried to kind of cheat and do something quick to create a catalog on the Meshery.io website. And over time, hopefully the needs of the site will grow into what you might expect from just any like e-commerce site that you go to, where you're browsing through a catalog of things. You like that shirt, you want to look at the different color, check out the size. Is it available? Does it come in my, how long will it take to ship? How much does it cost? Like, so these, like, that's basically all the same needs that we have here. Can I search through them? Can I filter? What are today's specials? How many times has that one been ordered? Those are very similar questions as to what people will have here. One of the things that we're doing Meshery a disservice on is prominently showing a list of compatible technologies and really only listing service meshes. Well, that misses out on the other, 180 something integrations that it has. So, well, okay. So there's a couple of answers to your questions. I think that for compatibility and the number of integrations that Meshery has, it will be quite the long list.
Yeah.
Displaying it in radio button form is probably won't suffice anymore. So we probably, in a good way, outgrown that. Okay. If you can, well, then how would we let people navigate that? Well, I don't know. I mean, one thought is if you go to the main page, there's a set of integrations that are listed. And there's a nice big collection of cards, a grid of small chips or small cards. And when you hover on them, they show you a little animation, but you can't click them. Well, what if you could click them? What would it do? Well, it could take you to a Meshery docs page that talks about that particular integration, or it could take you to the catalog filtered on that tech or on that project. So that would be, we can start to tie together that long list of, close to 200 or so integrations and allow people to, like if I was here, I'm like, well, yeah, I use telepresence as well. So what's the integration about? And if I were to click it, it would, it'd be okay that first of all, right now you can't click it. So that's not as great as if you can. And if you could click it, maybe it would take you to a documentation page. It's like, okay, that's helpful. I can kind of, I'll admit, I'm generally too much of a lazy bastard to do much reading. So I'll just like peruse the docs page and like, it looks into, does it have a video? No, okay, forget it. And so I keep going. But if I were to click it and it were to show me a set of cards that are kind of visual in nature, that have a little screenshot of what they are and the title of them, it would be like, oh, okay. So anyway, that would be one way of up-leveling the catalog. Now, more to the question that you asked, which is, well, okay, so Meshery integrates with a lot of pieces of tech. Okay, sure. It also has other genres of, it's extensible in other ways. One of those ways is by its adapters. So there's like 10 different Meshery adapters currently. Okay, and those are optional. You can deploy them or not. Each of the adapters right now are specific to a service mesh. And so, yeah, if you want to work with the AWS app mesh, then you might want to deploy the Meshery adapter for app mesh. And so, that's its own special that's its own special type of item in the catalog. These items are designs, and then there would be a different type of catalog item adapters. And then there might be another type of catalog item for plugins. MeshMap is a plugin. There's a host of other smaller plugins as well, because there's a lot of different. But anyway, that might be one way of thinking about the catalog structure and its breakdown, because the adapters and designs, they do interweave some, because you could say, well, but they don't have to. Like the AWS, the Meshery adapter for app mesh does potentially provide any number of designs, or would potentially integrate with any number of these designs, because some of these designs might be for that tech. But having said that, though, I think that that's a secondary consideration. I think that your primary concern right now is, if you scroll to the top of the page, your primary concern is probably something like, okay, there's a catalog. There are different types there's content in the catalog, and there's different types of content. Right now we have patterns, filters, programs, policy, and you're bringing forth two new types, adapters and plugins. Okay. How do those, so I would think of those two at that same level, and then let some of your brainstorming happen from there.
Just one quick thought that I got just in explaining adapters. We suppose we have this Istio book info applications, and this requires Istio. And so could we have a section that says prerequisite, and then put a link to a card that says Istio adapter, like this needs to be installed?
Yeah, that's a great.
Then we go and direct it that, and if we click that, we open a page like this for Istio adapter.
Yeah.
So in that sense, when someone clicks adapters, we'll show them cards for all the adapters, so that they can install it. Like, these are the cards, and you follow these steps to install it. Like similar to this, but all the adapters.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, yeah, if you think about all of the rest of the integrations, like I think even someone on this call has recently published a new item into the catalog. It might have been like a minimal Nginx install. And so if you think about, again, if you go back to that radio group and how it's sort of statically encoded right now, it needs to change so that it's dynamically, those filters are dynamic. Like no longer would we have hard-coded, as a matter of fact, no longer would we have any of the categories or any of the compatibility hard-coded. That would be dynamically discerned from the collections, the collection of patterns, the collection of filters, like, because each of these, yeah.
Will that be done in the backend, or like we have to just turn it in the front?
Probably not, probably on the in Jekyll. I mean, that information would be there if you were to open up, if you were to look at the front matter for any one of these designs. It should be the case that they would have category deployment, compatibility, Istio, like they should have all the necessary info to figure that out. And yes, because the current collection, the current content within the catalog, if it didn't have any content for the category troubleshooting, then yeah, we wouldn't have a troubleshooting category. Like it's kind of like the concept here being, if you go to a discussion forum, you create a new post on the discussion forum and you're entering in the tags you want to, like, for what your post is about. And it turns out nobody else has created a tag for that new thing that you're talking about. Well, based on the fact that you're creating a new tag, now you see that tag in the list. So it would be the same here. And at some point, yeah, sure, we might put on some controls about not having the Wild West of categories. We might,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, SUbedy. So yeah, we missed talking about this item, mobile hamburger menu. So I think this was the issue. So it's still present, and I don't think we have an active open issue on this, or no one is working on this. So this needs an urgent fix for mobile menu. So anyone willing to take up this issue right now? You can signal now in chat or on Slack. Cool. Do signal in Slack then. So moving on, next we are on play.meshery.io update. So Lee would like to make a call on this.
Oh yeah, well, maybe I'll say, maybe I'll save mine so that because I've been talking a lot. And so
Yeah, sure. So let's move to Meshery Cloud update. So Ritik would like to share some new designs and icons.
Yeah, I don't know that he's on.
Oh yeah, he's not. Next up is again Shivang, changes in README issues.
Yeah, basically it's the same thing, that the license is, redirecting users back to the repository itself, not the file. And the second one is the links are not properly placed. If you take, same. If you take a look, that the links are like not properly placed, they are making it unpresentable. So yeah, this is a small issue and I think it should be addressed.
Cool. It's for the Meshery repository. Cool. Will you be making PR for both of these issues?
Yeah, I'll do.
Cool. That's great. So
Thank you.
I think we have touched everyone's topic today, but we still have 5 minutes. So we can discuss about committee handbook.
Yep, sounds good. So someone had recently asked about being a member of the community and how how things in the community work, like around member profiles and GitHub org membership. And there are some other ways in which we recognize people and the fact that they're here and contributing and spending time. There's a card inside of, or there's a page called recognition in the handbook. I figured since the question was asked, and since we have a little bit of time on the call, that we would take a look at this page to see if it sufficiently answers that question. Like, hey, when the question more or less like, when could I expect, or how can I join the GitHub organizations here. And so this page says, hey, we appreciate you, especially if you can put up with sarcasm and stick around and do some things, learn with us. And in order to show our recognition, I guess there's a pretty small paragraph or 2 sentences maybe on the GitHub org. So what do we say? We say, there's a membership to GitHub. That's not a very good title of but it's the second, it's towards the top. It's the second paragraph. One more up, if you would. Membership to GitHub organizations. As you continue making your contributions to Layer 5 projects, you'll be given an invite to the GitHub org. This definitely needs improvement. For the project you have been diligently contributing to. This invitation can be from all 4 GitHub orgs of Layer 5, depending upon the number of contributions you make. Okay, so there's, we need to rewrite this. First of all, there's 5 GitHub organizations that Layer 5 has. Second of all, just to explain it real fast, we should take the words that I'm about to say and probably put them in here. And that is that there's a collection of individuals in the community who wear the role or perform the role of a community manager. And there's a page dedicated to community managers on the Layer 5 website, so you can go see who those individuals are. They meet about once a week and review things that are happening within the community and outside the community. They take a look at each, should I say this? They don't take a look at each individual because there's a lot of individuals here. Rather, they're paying attention to those that have come to the newcomers call, those that have been making waves in the community, those that have yet to receive an invite to one or more of the GitHub organizations. They take a look at, they consider different individuals for whether or not it's time to invite them to be a member of the GitHub org or have a community member profile, or to send out a tweet about them and their works, or to ask that they might prepare a small presentation to give on one of the meetings, or to submit a proposal to go talk at a Kubernetes days or at KubeCon, or like there's any number of things to do with community members to ask if they're ready for an internship, or there's a ton of things to do. And so one of the first things that we often end up doing is inviting people to the one or more of the GitHub organizations. We do that primarily for 2 reasons. One is to uplift their works, to recognize them, and to hopefully help encourage them on their way as they continue to engage. And that is by way of allowing them to show some of their Meshery or their Layer 5 pride on their profile, build up their profile, that's nice. And I don't think it's ever been the case that we've invited someone to be invited and that they haven't been happy to receive that or happy to show that off, which is wonderful. The second reason why we invite people to join one of the organizations is it's for the very same thing I first said, which is to support them in their efforts as they go to engage here. But in this case, instead of recognition, it is the second half of it is for enabling them with additional permissions within the community. So when your user account is a member of one of the orgs, within that organization, you'll have triage permission over issues. So you can not just create issues, but edit them, reassign people. I don't know that you can, anyway, you're empowered a little bit more. If you stick around even longer, then often you get moved into a different group in the GitHub organization so that your user has even more permissions. There's a couple of you on the call that have full rights over the orgs to delete them. So we very much, it's just a matter of time and trust that's built up over time with individual members to help empower them as they go through. It's, yeah, anyway, that's the gist of what should probably be said here. Well, specifically, what is it? Does someone need to be here and do 5 PRs? Is that when they get the invite? It's like, maybe it's 1, maybe it's 0. It doesn't necessarily have to do with code. As a matter of fact, there's a number of UX contributors that have invites to the GitHub orgs. It was, not for the second part of enabling them to do more in GitHub because they weren't doing it in the first place, but it was for the first part of just helping recognize their efforts. So no, it's, what is it? Well, it's kind of hard to quantify. It's like, is the person here for the right reasons? What are those right reasons? Well, to learn, to grow, to challenge others, to be challenged, to help advance the projects, that's kind of thing. Are they here to just get a badge on their profile? Then, then it's not very meaningful. So no, have they been here a while? Do they keep showing up? Are they willing to put up with some bad jokes, take their sarcasm, go back to the drawing board on API docs that aren't, anyway, are they tenacious? Do they keep asking the questions? Yeah, then good. Then those are the kind of people we want around here. And those are the kind of people we want affiliated with it. Those are the kind of people we want to help grow. The smarter the people that are here in the community, the more that you know, the more that you do, the greater the glory to everyone else who's here as well. I hope that, for my part, I hope that you all surpass me. And some of you probably already have. But yep, so that's kind of the gist behind one of the things that we try to do. Usually getting a community member profile is is a second step. And so on. And then you earn badges on your profiles, and we actually need more community managers to help do these reviews and help suggest more frequently that we're giving people badges on their profiles, and to help like tweet out about that or share it on LinkedIn or wherever to help uplift them. Yeah, okay.
Cool. Thank you so much, Lee, for giving an overview of this. So keep contributing, everyone, that you will definitely get noticed. With that, we are on time today, so it's time to wrap today's call. So thank you all for joining today's website meeting. We'll meet you next week, same time, same place. Bye all. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Gaurav. See you guys.